All right, hi there, friends. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta, doing this live stream here with you, just discussing the latest on our intensifying storm system here, located just towards the east of the Philippines right now. Of course, Uwan, also known as Fung-wong internationally. So still just trying to set this up a little bit more so, but the big thing right now is, yeah, this is strengthening. It is intensifying, and it still looks like it's going to be making landfall as a least high-end typhoon, potential super typhoon, just around Catanduanes actually could be impacted a little bit more so here, but central areas of Aurora, and we've seen a slight shift a little bit further towards the south here. We see this every time, and it feels like every time I sound like a broken record. We always get bit by it. Whenever there's this strong subtropical ridge to the north, models constantly suggest a churn northward, indicating something like this. But that is not the case 9 out of 10 times. Usually this bumps into that ridge. Pardon me. And it tracks further towards the south just like this. And this brings places like Manila more into the fold for some of the heavier impacts here. So let's just go a quick overview here, and then I'm going to bring you in on answer some of your questions. And basically, yeah, here's microwave imagery. This is continuing to wrap up tighter and tighter here. Defined eye. This is what we call rapid intensification. Watch as this goes from a diffused eye to that just clear eye wall here. And the problem is, look at northern areas of Samar, northern areas of Leyte, and also along the east coast of Bicol and Catanduanes. It is already going to be pushing in those winds from the north. Pardon me, I'm going to take a drink of coffee here real quick because I still got a cough. Ooh, this is interesting. I'll get it out. All right, this is interesting. This is the latest from the Dvorak analysis, and this indicates nearly 130 knots. That is about super typhoon. I mean, for all intents and purposes, if we just base it purely off of advanced Dvorak technique here, this is up to a super typhoon at this time. Not officially, but just based on a Dvorak analysis. Now, where is this headed? Well, based on the latest kind of analysis here on the satellite, I would still say closer to Catanduanes, parts of the Bicol region, and then it comes on shore, still here in central areas of Aurora, but even a little bit shift towards the south. It brings you more into the fold across the Bicol region and even over towards Milo for some of those damaging winds. Also storm surge, and I've already seen some reports of storm surge even further towards the south here. In fact, I have a video. Let me see if I can pull up this video. I believe this is further out here. This is in Surgal, I believe. Already seeing some pretty decent flooding there, and that's just a little bit of that swell of the water out ahead of this. So yeah, we often, a lot of people like to focus on the center line and the low-level center and where's the eye going, but this storm has a big girth on it, a big wide range. So even places like northern Cebu that are still recovering from Tino are getting tropical storm strength conditions down towards northern areas of Leyte. And then all of this is going to shift further towards the west, moving across Luzon as we go ahead through our day here on Saturday night, heading throughout the day on Sunday. All right, so actually here's a look at where you could be seeing some of these winds. 120 kilometers per hour or higher, definitely across parts of Catanduanes. Here further towards the west, but like I said, there's been a slight shift towards the south. We see this all the time, so I would dare say those typhoon strength winds probably going to extend like that, shifted slightly further towards the south. And even if that is not the case, you're still getting 90 kilometers per hour or higher in some of those areas, which is enough to knock down trees, rip off some weaker roofs. Flood threat obviously there. I have to check and see if this has been updated. I think it has. I think we have signal force 4 now for Catanduanes. If not, it's going to take place. And this is why I don't like showing these signal force. I don't like signal force, by the way. If you follow me for any period of time, you've probably figured that out by now. I think it's I would prefer and not to be an American with biases, but I would prefer that it was just like typhoon warning, and then people got that advice and they prepared. A lot of times people see signal force 1 and they go, well, we're just in signal force 1. It ends up being 4 or 5, which is absolutely going to be the case where this makes landfall across Aurora, Catanduanas, parts of the B-Call region, Bulacan, Isabella, all going to be seeing signal force at least 4, probably 5 from this storm system here. So, I mean, it's got a wide range. It's got a lot of impactors here, and and yeah, a lot of people are saying, this has slightly shifted towards the south. Yep, but it's not like it's going towards Cebu, but even a 20 to 30 kilometers shift brings all of B-Call, Legazpi into those typhoon strength winds. Really, even as I mentioned, Manila, Pangasinan, even Subic on the west coast. It brings you into the fold here too. So I'm going to try to, we got a lot of comments here so far. I'm going to try to read off some of these, and I apologize if I'm missing you. I'm just going to do my best to nail some of these down here real quick here. So yeah, let's see. We got a couple good evenings. How bad do you think Bataan is going to get? Could be looking at typhoon strength winds there from Etherasan. Is it still shifting south? I'm in Laguna, and I'm hoping not. From David, yeah, I think I answered that question. In Laguna, we could see the lake there get a little bit of what we call a seiche effect, where the lake starts to wobble back and forth a little bit, and you could be seeing a kind of a micro storm surge there. But I would absolutely think that Laguna would be looking at the very least typhoon strength winds. Probably not super typhoon, but over 120 kilometers. Likely there for you. Is that storm same as Odette? No, it's not. It's not the same storm as Odette. I never like to compare storms, by the way. It's not. Odette was super. It hit further towards the south. And not to say that B-Call and central areas of Luzon are better equipped or anything, but they do have the Sierra Madre Mountains, so it's definitely, whenever you talk about a storm hitting Visayas versus Luzon, it is a different picture. Is NCR expected to get damaging winds? Paul's up forever says, yeah, I think the NCR needs to prep for the risk of some damaging winds, yeah, especially weaker buildings. I believe the NCR's problem is going to be the rain more than anything, though. And hear me out here. So, of course, damaging winds, weaker roofs, like, those little food stalls on the side of the road, those are going to get, like, you know what I'm talking about. Don't be out on your moped in the middle of a typhoon, too. Please, goodness gracious, people. But the problem is the rain. So the Sierra Madres could see 200 to 300 millimeters here. Then you're talking about a lot of the rivers, then even back towards the north as this crosses over Aurora, so that would be the center track right there. All these rivers get fed by the mountains towards the east, where these 200 to 300 millimeters, and then you're going to get still 100 to 200 millimeters across the NCR. So you're going to get that heavy rain at first. The storm's going to pass, and then the mountains are going to have to drain out and head into the rivers. So the day after this storm hits, so Monday, Tuesday, the rivers will swell. I'm going to come out and say it. They will swell, and you're going to be looking at a flood threat there in Manila. So those areas. Dindo asks, is it landfall already? No, but I can't stress enough with this storm system, and any storm system for that matter, but this one specifically, don't fall into the landfall trap. And what I mean by that, I'm going to actually try to pull up a graphic from a JTWC and Pagasa here. So what I mean by that, I'm talking while trying to grab graphics at the same time, is a lot of people like to pay attention to the center line, which is important and you should, but the overall scope of this storm system is large, and it's going to have this absolute, even 12 hours prior to landfall, we will start to see those typhoon strength winds come on shore. You see right here, Sunday morning, already getting those conditions across Catanduanes. It comes on shore. Even Manila, you're going to be starting to look tropical storm strength winds tonight into tomorrow. Probably more so tomorrow morning. I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. But you'll start to get those winds well ahead of time here. So don't fall into that trap of, well, didn't it make landfall yet? It's probably going to have those impacts well ahead of time. Actually, I do see right here, while I'm pulling up new graphics, I'm trying to pull up new information here and stuff. Catanduanes is now under signal force 4. Right there, Catanduanes. Latest update from Pagasa just came out a few minutes ago here. They're under signal force 4. Pagasa's bulletins changed that status up to 190 kilometers per hour as of the latest update here, the 11 p.m. update, Philippine time. That's gust pressure down to 950 hectopascals. But I dare say, just purely based on that Dvorak analysis I showed earlier, 130 knots based on this is continuing. Pagasa might be a little bit behind the ball on it. I think this is continuing to intensify, and it's getting up there in intensity. Let's actually take a look at the Google DeepMind. Take a look. I'm going to refresh it real quick, make sure I'm getting the latest run. The good thing about Google DeepMind and any AI model, it doesn't update every 8 hours. It updates like constantly because it takes less power to run. So see here, that brings the DeepMind actually brings Cat 4 right near Catanduanes, and then passes off the Bicol region. Let's go slow through this. Watch as it passes Catanduanes there, passes off the Bicol region here overnight or on the day on Sunday, and then in Sunday evening. Hopefully it weakens a little bit. This is actually showing a Cat 3 at landfall, so it wouldn't be a super. Might get a little shear on the northern periphery, kind of knocking it down on that intensity just a little bit there, but still packing a punch. I mean, a lot of people are asking, is it going to weaken? And I shy away from saying it would from a Cat 4 to a Cat 3 because it's still a big bad storm. And unless you're in that inner core of the eye wall, you won't notice it was weakened from a Cat 4 to a Cat 3. Unless you are inside the eye. If you're in the overall girth of it, you won't tell the difference. Is the end... Okay, I already read this one. I hope it zips by. Stay safe, everyone. Yeah, I hope so, too. That's the good thing about this one. It is moving. It's not going to stall out over the Philippines. And then it's going to turn towards the north. And once it makes that turn towards the north, big rainfall threat for Taiwan, but it's going to be a much weaker storm system by that point. Somebody asked, where's the typhoon now? I hope I've answered that. It's showing satellite picture right now. How many storms are we expecting in November? This one? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. There could be very much could be another low pressure area behind this. And I'm only going to mention this because, oh my God, there's so many misinformation going around. Do you see any convection that would be looking at like an organized storm system east of this storm? And I ask that to you, the viewer. There isn't. Their GFS has been somewhat. Let's see. I haven't even checked today because it's not my. Yeah, the GFS has been showing this. Look at this. And some people are taking that and saying another typhoon's coming. Like, shut up. not you that asked that question. The people that share that misinformation. It bothers me because we have a very real intensifying storm system on our hands, and then I have to take time out of our day here to just address that. And it bothers me. That does bother me. So, yeah. All right, let's continue to read off some of the questions here. All right, what's the next one I got here? All right, good evening, Robert. Thank you very much for the updates. That's from Dre's. Thank you very much for stopping by. Appreciate all the way in Cebu. Let me know. Hey, by the way, if you're in Cebu or any of these areas, let me know how the conditions are in your neighborhood right now. Do we expect more impact in Metro Manila? I think I've already answered that one a few times. We have strong wind gusts and sunset in Romblon. Thank you very much. And we're already seeing some of those winds, especially in eastern Visayas and across the Bicol region. Is it going up or down? You mean north or south? Let's get our geography here. It's going kind of west-northwest right now. So when people are saying it's shifted south, it's not going south. The track has slightly shifted from northwest to west-northwest. if that makes sense. I know, hey, by the way, I also understand a lot of you watching, English is not your first language. And shout out to you for watching me talk in English about this. I envy you, and I need to work on my Tagalog. If there's any teachers watching that want to give me some want to donate to Westpac Weather, give me some Tagalog lessons, hey, I'm here. I will learn. I will be your protege. Hi from Isabella. Cheers, Isabella, one of my favorite areas. No offense to everybody else, but I love Isabella. I went there last year, and great people. We had a meet and greet there in Kauaian, and a lot of y'all came out, and it was absolutely awesome. Are we expecting Verbana? I just addressed that. No. Good evening, sir. May I ask, what is the worst case scenario here in Camarines and Catanduanes? So let's go back to the... and I'm going to address this one because this is a good question here. So what's the worst? Well, and I point out Catanduanes because you will be the worst to get, the earliest to get the worst of the storm. Does that make sense? So you're going to be the first ones to get the core of this. Right now, Catanduanes is under a signal force 4. The intensity is intensifying in the storm system. You can see satellite picture right here. Look at that. Outer core of this already impacting Catanduanes, and the track has slightly shifted towards the south. And I'll show you even from the ECMWF right here. Look at this. So the ECMWF is really bad with the intensity, by the way. So this shows a Cat 3, Cat 2. No, it's stronger than that. Based on Dvorak analysis, right now it's stronger than that. So ECMWF, P-poor on the intensity. But it does showing this track a little bit further towards the south. And this brings northern areas of Catanduanes into the picture here. Pepito last year, similar track. This area is known for it. But then you just asked about, the coast of the Bicol area, and you very much are going to be looking at typhoon strength winds. But, it's not just the wind that's an issue here. So let's say the storm tracks like this. The winds are going to wrap around like this. So you're going to be looking at a surge 2 to 3 meters high, especially in a lot of these basin inlets. It could be kind of funneled in those water level rises. So it's not just about the low level center of the storm, friends. You have that wind out ahead of it. And we're already seeing a surge out here in parts of Samar. Some people have been writing me. Somebody just wrote me out of Leyte, said, hey, I got a surge here. I just saw a photo on our Facebook page and our local community page. There's a surge. I'm like, yep, that does not surprise me, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a big storm, so it's going to have this big impacts here with it. Let's keep going through some of your questions here as well. And I'm going to just I'm going to check something here real quick. I want to make sure, just with our team at Westpac Weather, I want to make sure they're not sending me any messages. Which, by the way, if you follow Westpac Weather on Facebook, that's probably your best spot to do some of this stuff, because we got a whole team posting things there. We got a whole team of people who are sharing stuff here, and it's not just me. A lot of people say, hey, thanks, Robert. And I'm like, no, I don't post that. Especially when you get like these nitty gritty and the fantastic graphics. A lot of them come from Lex here at Westpac Weather. So check them out. Support the channel. If you support the channel, they all volunteer, but I've been trying to send them some monetary for the assistance here. They deserve more than what I give them. So if you support the channel, send some stuff our way, please. Actually, I do see who just Taorin, a traveling class. Hey, how you doing? He is from Siargao. One of the people that went through Odette there in Siargao just gave us a big tip there, and thank you so much for joining in here. I'm really happy to see you after Odette, and I know you still continue to follow the channel. So thank you very much for the support there. You just gave us a super on our YouTube. All right, so let's continue. And if I miss some of your questions, more water, drink more water. Eli says that I don't understand what that is, but I do want to address that. If you are ahead of some of these storms, try to fill up your water bottles and things like that. No, that sounds stupid and silly to say, and it feels like most of us know it, but even when I'm getting ready for typhoons and hurricanes, and I've been through them all, I still try to remember the battery charge, fill up water bottles, because if you get some flooding, the water goes, and then you're drinking poop water. You don't want that. So, and also secure like your important papers and things like that. Things like your passport, birth certificates, get them in a waterproof area. Let's see, how much lower can this thing go? I think MB is asking how much more south. I would dare say eye wall over the beat call area, the worst case closer to Manila. But even then, big wind field, so Manila is still going to be getting impacted by this pretty closely. Good evening, sir. May I ask? Okay, I already read that one. It's starting to rain in Legazpi. Yeah, you're already getting the outer rain bands there. Let's see. Yeah, I said girth because it's a good word to use in this scenario. The width of it. Typhoon 2000, Mr. Mike Padua mentioned that Uwan is unique in meteorology. What's your take? Thanks from the Gulf across Catanduanes. So first off, Eli, if you're near the Gulf near Catanduanes, hope you're ready. All right. It is unique in the sense that it's a big old storm. And I don't know specifically what he's referring to, which, by the way, me and him are friends. Good guy. If you follow him and you follow me, you're getting all the information from multiple sources and you're doing the right thing. All right. But I think what he means by that is the just width of this from end to end. It's massive. It is a massive storm system. But then on top of that, if we pull back the picture, it's got a big old eye. It's a little bit raggedy. So the fact that it's so large, a lot of times when you get the big storms like this and an eye at this size, you got to remember typhoons and hurricanes and cyclones, the tighter the eye, the tighter the pressure gradient. And think of the pressure as a big steep hole. So it goes like this, right? Ever see a pressure trace? It's like this big steep hole. When you get a big eye, the hole in the natural pressure gradient with it isn't quite as steep. It's just it's more like a gentle slope versus a cliff. This thing's intensifying and it's got a big eye, and yet it's still able to continue to strengthen. And that is unique. This is borderline monsoonal gyre size of an eye, but it is continuing to jump up here. And let's refresh look at that. That just went from 130 to nearly 140 knots based on advanced Dvorak analysis. 1,000% at this point right now, based on ADT alone. Now, that's not official. This is a super typhoon. Based on ADT alone. Now, officially via Pegasi, it's not quite there yet. We got to get over 200. But based on the advanced Dvorak technique by itself, it is. It's moving over some extremely warm sea surface temperatures. Look at this. It is moving into an environment very conducive for intensification. And, it's... I say that Catanduanes, parts of Manila, you need to be getting ready. Now, let's say it doesn't impact you quite as hard. Let's say you don't get a full-on typhoon. You're still going to get the rain. Remember Cebu during Tino? A lot of people don't understand this. Even people in Cebu don't get this. I looked at the wind reports at the airport. 90 to 100 kilometers per hour max. 120 is typhoon strength. They didn't get a typhoon in Cebu City. And we got the flooding from it just last week that brought those catastrophic floods, over 140 deaths at this point. So even if the core is not hitting you, this is a big storm, big wide storm. And it is going to continue to have just this big width and this big impact on it here. Know your rainfall warnings. Just pop that up on the screen. This is continuing the loop through. It's just showing you some rainfall warnings. All right. Let's take a look at this. All right. Possible highest signal force warning in NCR. I'm not going to get into that see, this is why I don't like to see the force warnings. I don't like to see, I don't like getting into the specifics outside of just the main impact areas, because that's really subjective via Pegasa. Highest possible, if you want it possible, 5. Highest likely, probably 3 or 4. How about Tacloban? You're getting kind of the worst of it right now. Those outer rain bands. This is going to pass well towards your north. Let's see. Why don't you cover the Bay of Bengal cyclone? Somebody says. Because I'm busy. I can't. This is Westpac weather, Western Pacific Ocean. So I do sometimes cover the Indian Ocean, but I have a full-time job in the Atlantic, and then I cover these part-time. So I just can't do it all. Why don't I do weather for Antarctica? I'm busy. I can't do it all. All right. With us track near Cavite, yeah. The Cavite City probably going to get some flooding. Peninsula sticks out in the middle of Manila Bay. Those winds that wrap in from the west, kind of see it right here on this graphic. The winds that when they come in from the west, that's going to get thrusted up into Manila Bay, and this is actually a good time to actually pull up a storm surge graphic. Let's bounce that over to here. So that's a good time to pull up this graphic right here. So potential 1 to 2 meter storm surge in the areas in yellow. So this includes the north. This also does include the west coast from Subic, Manila Bay. The problem with Cavite City specifically is that those winds are going to get funneled into Manila Bay. I think places like Rojas Boulevard could probably see some flooding right along the waterfront of the Mall of Asia. You know what I'm talking about? But also Cavite City, Songli Point, probably going to be looking at some flooding as well from this. And tropical storm strength winds, but those winds wrapping around, they're going to impact you there on the west coast as well as this storm tracks overhead. I mean, this is just a look at multiple agencies here. See that track, latest one, and this basically, as it moves off the west coast, remember those winds, they rotate counterclockwise. Now, the worst of the surge would be here along the east coast, but the good news, eastern areas of Luzon, east of the Sierra Madres, is a very steep continental shelf right there. So even with super typhoons, usually it's not a storm surge issue. It's more of the wind issue across that area. So my bigger worries for surge is going to be in these bays and inlets along Bicol and Manila, Subic, and Pangasinan on the west coast from this. Yeah, let's take a look at a couple more questions here. I'm not going to go forever, guys. So if you got those questions, I'm going to try to get to it. Been talking for about 30 minutes now. How active is the high pressure? There's a high pressure towards the north. It's kind of controlling it, so I don't really know how to answer that question. Mindoro, sir, update, please. My water bottle is in Boneless Wings restaurant. Cool. Haley, Mindoro is probably going to be a big rainmaker on the west coast as that moisture wraps around. So, yeah, you're going to get the rain there. Worst case scenario for Makati. A lot of people like to ask the worst case scenario instead of just what the more likely scenario is, and I prefer to answer most likely. Worst case is that this moves over Manila, right? And it starts on fire. I don't know. But the more likely scenario is that Manila does see some typhoon strength gust about 120 kilometers per hour or higher. And the worst case, the more likely scenario is Manila is going to be talking about flooding and heavy rainfall. Cebu has intense floods, human casualties, very heartbroken. You know, somebody just mentioned that, and I also want to talk about the human side of this and the governmental side of it. I'm not going to touch on the flood control project because that is outside of my wheelhouse. I don't know, but I can tell you that the government is stretched. They got to be. Even the most funded, most richest countries in the world, after a 7-point-something magnitude earthquake, after a typhoon caused that flooding in Cebu, and now we got a super typhoon, you're stretched. You have to be. Even it's just saying. Yeah, and somebody just said landfall likely lower around Bowler. Yeah, probably. This is shifting a little bit south. So Aurora, still going to be the right front quadrant, but I think that Bicol, Eyewall, this is kind of edging further towards the south. And when that happens, that does bring Manila more into the the fold here. Will there be wind shear and might disrupt its intensification? Possibly just prior to landfall, but at that point, and you can even see that here in this graphic right here. So just prior to landfall, you're going to get that shear just off towards the north here. And that could weaken it just a little bit, just a little. But I think friction at that point is going to have a bigger impact. There will be a lot of shear impacting it after it makes landfall. And it starts to make this turn towards north. See this right here? It turns off like this. At this point, then it really gets hit by this shear. And that really saves Taiwan. But it's not going to be enough to save the Philippines from a strong typhoon. And you can see here, look at all these kind of clouds right in there. See that right there? That's a bit of a shear line right there. So it's south of the bulk of the shear, but it's not far enough south, north to really disrupt it a lot. And if it was getting hit by more shear, it'd probably mean it was getting hit by a trough, and that would indicate more of a northerly turn. But the fact is, it's kind of edging south, which thus indicates that it's kind of combating that shear. So very good question with that one. 185 kilometers per hour, somebody says. Yeah. In fact, I don't know what, somebody do the math for me. 130 knots. What is 130 knots to kilometers per hour? 240 kilometers per hour. The Dvorak analysis is showing 240 right now. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to Dvorak. I have it right here. I gotta be my own producer here. 140 knots. 240 kilometers per hour. 250. 240 kilometers per hour. The Dvorak analysis is showing 240 right now. This is, by the way, advanced Dvorak analysis. You can see the time on the bottom of the screen right there. And that red line indicates the intensity of the storm. The winds on the right indicate the sustained. So 24 hours ago, this was a tropical storm with 35 to 50 knots. It's at 140 right now, or 240 based on Dvorak analysis. That is rapid intensification at its just peak right now. Robert, click windy, click wind mode, click GFS, and click Tuesday. Play it Friday. There is an LPA. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Sean. Slow your roll. And I did click it a few minutes ago. There's a broad low. I'm not worried about it as something after this right now. If anything, we could see another tropical wave increasing rainfall for the southern half of the Philippines next week. Let's slow your roll here, and let's talk about the super typhoon on hand instead of a weak LPA a week from now. That one model is showing. Okay? Please, for the love of goodness gracious, please. Mar did the little math for me, said 250. Thank you very much for that. I'm sorry. I get a little peed off here whenever somebody's asking about the next storm and a possible LPA when we have a super hitting right now. This is where misinformation comes from. And then I sit here and I have to answer those questions in my inbox. You don't know how much time I waste answering my inbox from people asking, is there going to be another storm? And I'm like, one model shows a week ago showed a tropical storm, and now it just shows a weak LPA. And now you're asking me this. All right, my soapbox right now upsets me. Let's go back to the Metro Weather's Weatherscape, which, by the way, big shout out to Metro Weather Weatherscape. They help us provide these fantastic graphics here. All right, there is rain in Cebu at the moment. Yeah, you're getting those outer rain bands. Howdy, Robert. Howdy, Kohai. What's causing the storm to curve sharply across the country? It's not really curving sharply. I wouldn't say that. I would say it's shifting from northwest to west-northwest, and drifting slightly towards the south. Now, unless you mean curving sharply after it moves across the Philippines, that is due to a trough that's going to dig in from the north and cause it to make that shift towards the north. But yeah, but here's the problem. A slight shift from northwest to west-northwest brings places like cat and dew on us. And I've already kind of gone through this, but I'm just going to answer because I know we got a lot of new people that just jumped onto the stream. That brings places like cat and dew on us. Northern areas of Samar, the Bicol region, into the least outer eye of this and into the typhoon strength conditions with this storm system. And actually, let's pull up. I got a good graphic here to kind of show you. So this shows the core of the wind field based on the current Pegasa track. But if this moves further towards the south, towards Baller, it brings those 120 kilometer per hour winds closer to NCR. So I would dare say shifting this red color to about there, maybe. Probably in the Bicol region. I would even color it like right in there. Along the coast at the very least of Bicol. You're probably going to be seeing 120 sustained or higher right along the immediate coastlines here. So that's the shift, the curve that people are talking about. It's a good question. So please keep asking those. The very good question in there. 150 miles per hour or take. Somebody says they're on oxygen. Well, hope you got the backup generators and some extra supplies if you're out ahead of this. Watching from Quezon City. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Robert. How is the high pressure area? Is it possible to strengthen? A lot of people are asking about this high pressure. And yeah, what we're seeing is a slight shift towards the south. Pegasa says it's moving west-northwest. There you go. So Pegasa is following up on this, and I'm sure they're going to start to see a more west-northwest. I wouldn't say due west, but yeah. All right. How? Batangas, please. Yeah. I can go through a lot of these specific spots out here, friends, but I think Batangas, at the very least, you're going to look at, tropical storm strength conditions, possibly gusted typhoon. All right, let's go. Not trying to lowball the strength of this storm. However, I'm more scared with its sheer size it will bring. Mitchy boy, my hero. Mitchy boy, I'm going to give you a like. Can I like on this? I can't. But for real, though, that's a good one. That's a good point. You just jumped on the chat here and said that because it is the sheer size of this storm system that worries me. Look at this. Signal force 1 from Mindanao to the Babuan Islands. I don't think I've seen that. That's massive. Look at the wind field. And then when you get and a lot of people, they equate the winds as a standalone factor of these storms, but it's not just the wind field. It's the fact that all of that comes with convection. So you got that heavy rainfall. Look at this, 200 millimeters plus just on the next 24-hour forecast, but this is going to cascade over towards the west. And then you're talking about the storm surge threat on top of that, because those winds don't just push the air, they push the water. So when you have this massive storm, you're going to be seeing multiple different areas impacted along the east and west coast. So Mitchy boy, this is a very good point. You're not downplaying the size. So the scales are rough because the inner core is where you're seeing this Dvorak analysis like this of 240 kilometers per hour right now is this tiny little sliver of the inner core of the storm. But the overall width of it pushes that water, and the bigger a storm is, the more of a plow and the more of the fetch area it has to push that water along, and that creates higher storm surges and flooding, and it just has more raw energy with it. So, sir, you get a gold medal for that comment right there. Thank you very much for jumping on here. I do appreciate that. Misaki just gave us a super here. Thank you very much. $5. I appreciate you. Girlfriends in the Philippines. I worry about typhoons, and thanks for that. Hey, well, thank you very much for your support here. Your support goes a long way. It costs money to run these graphics. Our graphics for Metro Weather. We got a whole team here I want to try to support because they've been putting a lot of stuff together too. A lot of these graphics I've been sharing here come from Lex and Matthew, who've just been creating and sharing this stuff on our Facebook page. So thank you so much for you guys' support, and that's why I put that goal on there. It's just a shout out to everybody that helps support this channel. Can it veer towards the north a bit and land in Isabella? Possibly, Aaron. Probably not. Time and time again, we see these storms track further towards the south. And in fact, you can see here on the Google DeepMind, been shifting south. And even a lot of the ensembles there. So yeah, that it could veer north and maybe, but I worry more about a southerly shift like that than a northerly shift. I know. No one wants to hear that, but yeah. Does the eye wall keep on expanding? I don't think the eye wall is expanding. I actually do think it's tightening up a little bit. But that's a good question. It's been tightening. So I wouldn't say it's expanding, but the overall just width of this storm system is. That's from JCR. Good question. Has there ever been a tropical cyclone that hit the Philippines that's the same size as the Philippines? It's a weird question because you have to remember that the typhoon strength winds are that inner core. If you talk about the serious outflow, just looking at a satellite picture where you have like all that outflow aloft, and if you're within that, you're probably not even seeing tropical storm strength winds. Maybe I haven't seen people saying it's bigger than the Philippines, and that's another one of those like posts and comments that I see on social that kind of, once again, I got so many soapbox in these lives that upset me because it's like that's not correct. Technically, the core of the wind is where the typhoon strength winds are. You're not seeing typhoon strength winds from Batanes to, Davao. You're not seeing that, okay? But maybe the cirrus outflow, yeah. So technically on the satellite picture. Marco Jump says, based on wise analysis, would you rate this destructive wind from a 1 to a 10, Odette being a 9? That's a tricky one. And I don't, Marco, I want to, thank you for the donation, by the way. Just donate it super on our chat here. I don't want to rate it right now. Let's rate it after the storm. But a super typhoon's a super typhoon, so it's up there. It's up there. But I don't want to say it's weaker than Odette, and then people say, well, I'm fine. And I think that's what happened with Tino. A lot of people were like, well, it's not a super typhoon. I went through Odette in Cebu, and Cebu got wrecked by Odette with wind damage. But then the rain was separately, and the rain was a separate scale. So for the pure destructive power, though, for somebody along the East Coast, it will be a 10 out of 10, and for others, it won't be. If you're directly in the line of this, 10 out of 10. It's a good question, though. Thank you very much, Marco, for jumping in on there. There. All right. I gotta skip over some stupid questions that kind of get mixed in here. Would the amount of rainfall be, and also guys, it's not time to joke right now. I know I joke a little bit, but I just, please don't in the chat. It's a waste of my time. Let's see. Oh gosh, there's so many questions coming through. I'm trying my best to answer them. Watching from New Jersey. So it says, hey, somebody says, dude, we're effed. I'm in Laguna. I want to say that, and you're not effed. Censoring it here. But just make those prep. And even in Laguna, if you see typhoon strength winds, get in a sturdy building, prep up, shut the power off. You can save yourself a little bit of electric. Just make those preps and you'll be fine. Now, if you're on the East Coast in the path of the storm, evacuate. Listen to your local authorities. Don't listen to me too. Your local NDRMCs, listen to them and take their advice. Please, please, please. Shang, who helped us out earlier, I have another question. Typhoon Uwan bringing back flashback to Manyi, Papito, like in Cat Nuanas. Yes. Very similar. Good observation. If you're going to compare Manyi, Papito, very similar track, maybe a little bit further towards the south. Very, very similar. The only difference with this one, it's bigger in the width of the tropical storm strength winds and the amount of rainfall coming with it. So very, very similar, though. That's a very good point. What signals do you think will be hoisted in Iligan and Isabella? Probably 3 or 4. I wouldn't think 5. I think 5 would be reserved east of the Sierra Madre Mountains, west of the Sierra Madre Mountains, across the Cagayan Valley, 3 or 4. But the Cagayan Valley, and specifically the river, I think is going to be the bigger issue there, will be the rainfall. Because the rain's going to fall in the Cordillera Mountains, and the Sierra Madres go down. Rivers like the Sifu, the Magat River, all flow into the Cagayan River, and you're going to see water level rises there. Is there a storm surge possibility in Cavite City? I actually answered that question a few minutes ago, and I actually do think, Hans and Michaela, that there is, unfortunately. Those winds are going to wrap around from the west. There is a chance. Actually, I was showing this graphic earlier, and I want to point this out because I do think that there is definitely the possibility of flooding in Cavite City. It's a peninsula. It sticks out into the middle of the Manila Bay there. And a 1 to 2 meter high surge, it's very shallow. At least Sangli Point's going to flood, but probably, I think Cavite City will be cut off because right where the peninsula attaches, a very narrow spot there. You're probably going to be seeing some flooding here as well. In fact, let's pull up. I'm going to pull up Google Maps. Let's zoom in on what I'm talking about here, because it's a good question. Let's pull back the picture. Gotta go here. All right, there we go. Let's pull that up on the screen. Boom. All right, so here you go. So there's Cavite City, and my worry is as this storm tracks towards the north, when those winds come in counterclockwise, right here, just north of Kuwait, where the old president used to live, which my wife is distantly related to. It's kind of funny. We went there, and one of her cousins owns a house like next door to the presidential house there in Kuwait. And I guess they have a distance relations. Pretty cool. Anyways, so yeah, this peninsula here, though, right here, this is where I worry that's going to get cut off. So maybe Cavite City won't be specifically flooded, but the peninsula and these areas here will probably see a little bit of flooding. While I got Google Maps up, see Subic, I do think you're going to get a surge there in the port. But the other worry I have is Pangasinan along the coast here, because as this storm tracks towards the north, and let's say it tracks just like this, those winds are going to wrap around from the north, and you're going to be seeing a 2-3 meter high surge there as well. And then, since I got this up to the mountains here, all that rain's going to fall. It's going to go into the rivers just like that, Pangasinan, and a lot of the rivers closer to Manila. That water is going to hit the mountains here in the Sierra Madres. Where's it going to go? It doesn't vanish. It goes into a lot of the rivers, even the lake down here towards the south. So there is a broader impact here outside of that low-level center. And as far as a surge, big old storm, you could be looking at some flooding in a few spots here. Let's keep on answering some of these questions. That's what I'm here for. After this, I am going to record one of my 10-minute videos again. That's much more concise, and it'll probably have a lot of answers to your questions too. All right, let me. Okay. Any records broken by this? I don't know right now. I don't think so just yet. Aurora, Quezon, Landfall, probably central or southern areas of Aurora. Right front still impacting Lake Isabella, though. I mean, you're going to have that. Is Manila a direct hit? Is Manila a direct hit? Quest Capital. Clone Zombie says, please watch. You posted 3 times, boss. 4 times, 5 times. Chill. Hey, Manila's probably not going to get a direct hit. And if it does, you're probably going to see. You're not going to get like a super typhoon in Manila, okay? What you will get is the eye wall, which is probably going to be 120 kilometers per hour or higher. But I think my bigger worry about Manila at this point is going to be the rainfall that's going to be taking place there. So yeah, I've addressed that a few times. Just The Philippine Sea is dubbed as the Philippine Sea effect. Actually, that was Westpac Weather that coined that term. If you've heard it before, Alessio. Michael Williams, one of our Westpac Weather alums, first coined that. We've been taking under way since then. And yeah, that is so if you ever hear shear line and Philippine Sea effect, those two terms, that's us. That's Westpac Weather, those two terms. We've been using those, and now I notice Pagasa uses those terms as well. Philippine Sea effect, though, a very real thing. Just these storms, they hit the Philippine Sea, and they get into these warm sea surface temperatures, good outflow, inflow, and it just erupts the storms here. Let's get Robert over 100,000 subscribers. Robert Lure says, please, yes. Hey, if you're watching this right now, subscribe. Do me a favor. I've been talking for an hour. You could do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button right now. Do please. Because if I get over that 100K, I've been saying this for, how long am I doing? 15 years we've been running this YouTube channel. I still don't have it yet. But if we get over that 100K, I will never say it again. I promise you. The reason I want the 100K, it's not for the button, although that's cool. It's for the hashtag and verify of the channel, which helps the algorithm, and it helps us come get this information out more. And that's what I want. Like, it's an algorithm thing. Yeah. I bet Pagasa's watching you. I have some friends from Pagasa, actually, and I think Pagasa's doing a good job. I watch Pagasa. They might watch me. But I have some people that I know. Before they started working at Pagasa, they went to some of our meet and greets. Like after Haiyan, we had some meet and greets, and they were teens at the time, and now they work at Pagasa. And really, there's a new wave of people there that are doing a fantastic job, in my opinion. And I'm really happy. Robert's just joined our Typhoon level. Thank you so much on YouTube here. So Randy just said, just subscribe. Thank you so much. Somebody just asked rapid intensification at the moment. So I want to talk about this. If you are on here and you're just jumping on, is the storm undergoing rapid intensification? Let's address this. Yes. I'll give you more than that. Yes, it is. So it's not just me saying that. It's not just me going at the satellite picture. Let's look up microwave imagery right now showing this gaining that intensity. But I'm going to refresh this with you. You see the red line right at the top there? See, it's just shy of 140. Continuously updating. It is right near 140. Not. But this line right here. Get out of here, you screen. Come on. I want to. How do I move this? Move it. There we go. Put you. Oh, you made it worse. Oh, goodness gracious. This thing is so slow. All right. Get down here. Good. All right, so this number right here on this right is not based on advanced Dvorak technique. Advanced Dvorak technique is what we use when we don't have the benefit of hurricane hunters that fly into the storms. You have to use satellite analysis. So basically, you look at the satellite, you look at the coldest cloud tops and the infrared satellite. You compare it with the warmest right in the core of the storm, and then you look at the overall intensity, the circumference, the outflow, and all of that. It all comes together. It gives us a rough idea of where the storm is. Pagasa uses it, JTWC uses it, JMA uses it. Every agency in the Westpac uses this technique, which is why I do think this is going to be rated a super typhoon in the next update from Pagasa and JTWC. Because you see here, look at this. 24 hours ago, this was a tropical storm. Then it started to intensify. Now it is up to 140 knots, 240, 250 kilometers per hour. Now, I doubt they're going to put it that high. They'll probably adjust it and put it closer to 130 knots, which is still super typhoon category. But over the since I've started this video an hour ago, this has been from 120, and now it's near 140. So to answer a lot of your questions asking about, is this rapidly intensifying? I'm raising my voice because, yes, it is. My goodness, it is bottoming out. A lot of the stuff I pulled up an hour ago feels like it's outdated as far as current intensity. I don't think the forecast is changing because here's the deal. We expected this to bottom out. We expected this to intensify and rapidly intensify. And this is why us at Westpac Weather have coined the term Philippine Sea effect, because this happens so often. This isn't anything new. Happens all the time. All right. B-Rads, just donate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I lost you, B-Rad. There's a lot of people here. I wanna read your thing. Love the soapbox comments. Hey, I get on it sometimes, especially these live. You get me talking for an hour, I'm gonna start bouncing around and screaming. I lose my mind a little bit. It helps to understand your perspective. You are the meteorologist, and we look to you. Thank you so much. Also, whoa, he donated 120 on PayPal the other day. That was you. That's right. I replied to you. If you didn't get my message back, B-Rad, I did reply, and I actually asked if you're looking for advertisements, because on our Patreon we have which shout out to Frontrunner Financial. I got to give them a shout out real quick. Frontrunnerfinancial.com. I'll come back to you first, B-Rad. Thank you. Send me a message, reply. I think I sent you on email via the Gmail, the Western Pacific Weather Gmail. If you want an ad space, because we do have a Patreon ad space. I'll just put you on here. I'll put you on the screen. We do have a Patreon ad space that is $100. Oh my God, thank you so much. But Frontrunner Financial, who does use our ad space, and maybe I'll put them up right while I'm talking about this real quick. Let's see if I can get rid of this box right there. They're right below me here. So they're for accountants real quick. I'll get back to the real information, but I do want to give them a shout out because they also support us on Patreon at the ad space level. For people that live and work overseas or travel a lot, and this is good for Filipinos too that work overseas and get paychecks from different countries. I found this useful because I've lived in multiple countries where when you do your taxes, it's such a pain in the butt. These are you guys, and that's why I don't have a lot of ad space, but this is one that I think is useful. I'm not going to advertise makeup, but I do think these guys are absolutely useful. So shout out to them who support this channel, and if you're one of those people like me who travel a lot. But B-Rad, thank you so much for that donation. Absolute hero right there. Let's see. Yeah, they just raised Signal Force 4 in Canton Duanas. We actually talked about this earlier on in the stream, but I'm going to bring it back up because somebody just mentioned it here. Let's see. Do I have the latest? Yeah, right there. Canton Duanas under Signal Force 4 now. But this is why I don't like the Signal Force warnings, and I'm going to... I wish that... I don't want to knock Pagasa because it's not my place to do that, okay? And the meteorologists that are there are doing their job very good. This is more of a red tape thing. I think they should just issue the warning for the highest at the start. So if they know right now that Signal Force 5 is going to be in place, probably for this swath, should be Signal Force 5. Now, I don't like that the up steps. Because people in Manila right now are like, yeah, we're under Signal Force 2. You watching this video probably know better because you're informed, you're educated, and you're watching this. But 9 out of 10 people probably hear that Signal Force 2 and they go, and then by the time 5 is issued, the storm's on top of you. And you can't prepare. And that's why I don't like the Signal Force warnings. And I know I'm just a foreigner and I got my biases, but it's just yeah. So Cat 4 and Cat and Duanas, I'm happy that they're putting that away ahead of time, but I wish that they already had that Signal Force 4 for B-Call and Aurora and Baller. I wish that it was already in place for those areas. I think that it's going to be raised for those as well.
B-Rad, thank you so much.
Ondoy versus Fung-wong and Metro Manila. Ondoy is the peak. I don't think it's going to be the equivalent, but typhoon strength winds are typhoon strength winds. What's a sign it's undergoing rapid intensification? Dorcole says, I hope I've already answered that because I really went through and explained that in detail just a moment ago. Even though the size of the typhoon is still making me worried here in Central Visayas. Yeah, so Central Visayas, Cebu specifically, you're going to get tropical storm gusts probably and heavy rainfall at times. Nothing like you got last week. Nothing, but I understand because you got recovery going on. T4 Sue says brown out. Probably in a lot of these places. Is it at your house? Is that what you're asking? So let's keep going here. Why do Filipinos like to use windy? Let's get on the windy subject real quick here. And real quick. So windy is a great app, and this is good. This is good interaction. I'm gonna address this real quick. Windy is a good app. It's an app. You know the satellite picture I've been showing you here? See this? This is windy. This is windy. But windy does a lot more than just this. And windy is not a weather model because if we go, let's pull this up. In the bottom right of the screen, I'm on top of it. You can change the GFS icon. There's different models. You can also show temperature. You can show wind. You can show rain. I hate it when I see people say, well, the windy app, the windy model, and then they have no context. They just show this. It's like, well, what does it mean? And this right here, this is only 5 hours out, but a lot of people have been showing the GFS, and then they go like a week out, and they go, well, there's another typhoon coming, which, by the way, like a week ago, it was showing another storm out here south of the Philippines. Does it show anything now? No, doesn't really. Maybe a broad low. Goodness gracious. So just whenever somebody shares an image from windy, just keep in mind it's an app that shows models. It's not an official forecast. And the app is a really good app, but it does a lot more. I mean, check this out. You can actually go right in, click an airport. I'm going to pull up the Beat Call Airport here. On the right side of the screen, it gives you a little meteogram here. I want to pull up like some of these. It actually allows you to look at the, I got to pull up satellite picture. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click one of these. There's a way you can do it on the bottom of the screen. It actually allows you to pull up like the history and look at the reports. Here it gives you raw METAR in spots where you can look at the actual METARs. Runway info, all of that here on the right side. There's just so much that's really cool with this app that you can do, and I hate that sometimes I hate it because people don't know how to use it correctly. Look at this, check this out. Let's take a live look at a random road in downtown Manila. It's on the top right of the screen here. Yeah, let's take a live look out towards, where are we in? La Union? Pangasinan? This is just a nice sky cover on the west coast here. You can do a lot more than just look at those the wind field that windy immediately takes you to. And yeah, that's just a little, that's my soapbox on windy here real quick. It's yeah, it is what it is. So I hope somebody just learned a little bit. If you didn't, cool. Are we expecting here in Pangasinan in 12 to 24 hours? You're going to be probably expecting in Pangasinan, Brian says, typhoon strength winds coming in from the north, coastal storm surge 2 to 3 meters, heavy rainfall in Pangasinan too, on the west coast. So I worry about, like, because it's a kind of an inlet area there, so it funnels the surge up along the immediate coast. But you could be looking at typhoon strength winds, 120 kilometers per hour or higher, along those coastal areas, wrapping around from the west. Do you think that the Pagasa will shift the track slightly south? I think slightly. I don't think they're going to take the center line over Manila, but I think northern areas of the NCR, it could. I want to welcome Wenge Del Rosio to Tropical Storm. Thank you very much for coming on here. And David Cruz also just jumped on Tropical Storm. Guys, you got a lot of support here. I'm going to cry. Thank you guys so much. All right. So how? Let's see. Is the 155 kilometers sustained 10-minute? Are you talking about JMA? If it's JMA, it's 10 minutes. If it's JTWC, it's 1 minute. Will just just donated. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate that. And yes, if you guys are jumping on right now, subscribe. I really appreciate that. Somebody said this Armageddon. Please don't post that. It's not. It's not. It's a typhoon. But it could be if you're in the middle of it. If you're in, like, on the coast in the inner core of it, it's going to feel like that. Just make sure you make the proper steps. prayers are good and everything, but I always say, prepare first, pray second. I saw videos of people like in Cebu on the beach praying ahead of Tino, and it looked like, and then I said something and they were like, well, God will stop us. And it's like, hey, God's not going to change the course of the storm. You got to make those preps yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Your faith will give you the oomph to take care of yourself and take care of your friends and family around you. And maybe in their eyes, when you make that extra step to warn them and tell them, they will go, God told me. No, it was you being informed and told them. So take care of your friends around you. And I think that's the whole point of faith, right? Is take care of your friends and family. Be a good person. Doesn't matter what religion you're in. Doesn't matter if you're Buddhist, Shinto, Muslim, Christian. Take care of your people around you. So prayer is good and all, but help out your fellow peeps around you. That's the big thing. If you're being informed right now, let them know what you've learned. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Any chance Uwan would do a last-minute jog? Yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing right now. A lot of people just asking the same question about that track towards the south. It's not a big shift to south, but it could bring Manila closer to the core of this storm and typhoon strength winds in Manila. Least northern areas of the NCR and along the coast. So, yeah. Do I think signal force 4 is possible in Manila? Sinatra just asked. I think that 3 likely. 4 if Pagasa is aggressive. I don't like giving what I think about signal warnings because that is subjective by the meteorologist at Pagasa. That's like you asking a meteorologist at Pagasa, what do you think Robert Spett is going to eat for lunch today? Now, they could have an informed decision. Rob likes to eat burgers a lot or something like that. But, yeah, I don't like giving it. I can tell you that they're probably going to see typhoon strength winds, which would be signal force 3 or 4. Somebody just said the eye's gotten smaller. Yeah, actually, it looks like it. It looks like, and that's a clear sign of rapid intensification, is that eye is getting a little bit more tight here, which a clear indicator of this continuing to wrap up and intensify. And then let's refresh this right here. Take care of your friends around you. Coffee. Oh, it's cold. That's how long I've been talking here. My coffee's cold now. Clearly, like, this is tightening up. And if it tightens up, that tells me the pressure gradient in the center is becoming more of that cliff, and that indicates intensification. And then we look at the Dvorak analysis. Has this topped 140? Let's hope not. The adjusted tops 140. That line right there. I'm looking at the red line. The adjusted does, which is bad. But that's kind of more of an analysis here. So it looks like somebody just lost power. Let's see. I got some information here. So Pepito last year, when that made landfall, by the way, that was at 260 kilometers per hour per JTWC at landfall. So this is up near 250 right now per Dvorak analysis. So at this point, it is matching Pepito. Now, if it weakens a little bit prior to landfall, it wouldn't be quite that high. But, yeah. Actually, we got an update. I want to check the Dvorak. Not Dvorak. I want to check Pagasa. I think we just got a new update from Pagasa here. Let me pull that up. I use Facebook for Pagasa. I don't know. Let me know if you guys use them too, because their website often is really slow and all their stuff goes on Facebook. Give a shout out to the Philippines. Every other country has moved on to TikTok and everything. You guys still use Facebook, which I'm happy about because that's where I am and that's where a lot of my followers are. All right, so I guess the change is that the entirety of Luzon is under Signal Force 2 right now. So that's the latest update. Signal Force 3 now in Aurora. Poliilo, Rizal, Bulacan, Singapore 2, but Metro Manila still under 2, but 3 is on the East Coast. You're probably gonna get to a 4 or 5. I'm surprised they didn't update Catanduanes to a 5 already. But this is that stepping factor. But the entire island's under 2 right now. But with that said, don't forget, the wind is one thing, which is where signal force warnings come from. Know your signal force, your rainfall warnings in your area, though. Red level, etc. Because this is going to have a big rain accumulation. This is the ECMWF latest run. Look at this. Just spots of B-Call 240. Some areas 300 plus here on the Sierra Madre Mountains. And even if you don't get that rain in Manila, the rain goes somewhere. Where does it go? It goes down the valleys, the rivers, Cagayan Valley. I've been saying this for Apari. Apari in like areas, the biggest city in Isabela, or Cagayan, excuse me, here, they're going to miss out. They're going to have 50 to 60 millimeters, but the water levels will rise because the Cagayan River is the main source for all these watersheds that are going to see 400 to 500 millimeters. So it's a big girth, big boy on the storm system. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys, and then I am going to sign off here real soon because I'm talking for over an hour. I still want to it's also getting late here in the Philippines, so I know a lot of you are probably going to probably signing off, trying to get some sleep. But I'm also I gotta go to work, and then I'm gonna be out of pocket probably for about 12 hours. I'll try to get a quick video in here. I will try. But I got a job. I got a job to do on top of this. So yeah, it's a lot. Mitch boy, you're not spamming. You're good, friend. Let's see. Samuel says, I forgot what the wind speeds needed for Super Typhoon. It depends on the agency. Bagasa's 200, JTWC's 220, JMA's something else. JMA technically doesn't have a Super Typhoon category. They have Violent Typhoon. But everybody in Japan calls it a Super Typhoon. It's weird. Japan's weird. We all know that. we love Japan, though. Pagasa gave an update. Yeah, somebody just said right there. And Pagasa's going to continue to give updates all night. So, just if you're not following here on this YouTube channel, or you're waiting for an update on the YouTube channel, check Western Pacific Weather on Facebook, please, because we got a whole team of people there that are posting stuff. So if I'm not posting stuff, they are. And if we're not, Pagasa is. And if Pagasa is not, which goodness they should be, they're Mike Padua is. We got a lot of people here. Is Cagayan Valley and Aurora gonna see flooding like Cebu? Probably not, but it's gonna see flooding more like I don't want to compare it to the storm we got back in 2020, but there is going to be water level rises on the Cagayan River, flooding along the coast there. Let's see. 185 is Pagasa for Super Typhoon. Okay, yeah, apologize. So we're almost there. Yeah, I think that's what I got right now, guys. I've answered most of these questions. They're duplicates. Somebody asked, how big is 100 millimeters? 2 centimeters? No. 200 centimeters? What do you mean? Are you talking empirical? It's a lot of rain. It's a lot of rain. 100 millimeters is a lot. 500 is flooding. That's like going outside and it is just dumping continuously. I hope that answers your question. All right, guys. I am going to sign off on these questions here. I can't keep going. So one more question. Somebody's asking, what's the difference in wind gust and sustained winds? Sustained winds is 2-minute or 10-minute scale, depending on the agency. This is a very good question. So it's sustained. Gust is instantaneous. So whenever you look at wind speeds, always look at gusts, because that's the gust will wreck your house. Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go. If you're watching this right now, subscribe, please. A big shout out to everyone that has donated here on this chat, our super chats. Goodness gracious, there is. I gotta try to find some of you guys. I can't. There are big donations here, and I truly thank you. This doesn't like I don't pocket this money. It goes back into the graphics and everything. And everything that is donated on our Patreons, I try to support our people that also make graphics here at Westpac Weather. And my goal one day is to have this full time, but at least for now, this is what we do. We do this stuff. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please do. Over 100,000 subscribers. I will shut up about it. And I'll never say it again. But it helps verify the channel and it gets us going. So please subscribe. It takes you 2 seconds. I've been talking for an hour and a half here so far. So if you can do me just that small favor and take your mouse or your finger, push that subscribe button. It really goes a long way in supporting this channel. I'm going to leave in... somebody said call in sick. The problem with calling in sick is that it screws somebody else over. And I try not to do that. I'm reloading the data on Metro Weather's Weatherscape, which is also another... If you're looking for good weather software, check them out. They're fantastic, and they help support this channel by allowing me to use this TV-level graphics from them. And, yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I'm going to leave a little lo-fi music on here for those who are still watching. And if you want to still chalk in the chat, you want to support the channel, I'll continue to leave this up. But I'm probably going to record something separate here in a minute that is going to be posted in about a half an hour. So just talking about the rapid intensification we're seeing, answering that slight shift towards the south, and some last minute forecast from you. Zenida, it's like as close to Zendaya, just became a tropical storm on our support here. Thank you so much, for real. Same with Fernando, just supported here. Guys, gosh, I'm honored by that. And keep hitting that subscribe button. For real, this channel started as just kind of me geeking out on in 2009 Wonder Blogs. I was Wonder Blog in 2005 with Dr. Jeff Masters, and then it evolved to blogging, and then when YouTube started becoming a thing, it was me and Levi Cohen, who runs Tropical Tidbits. We're one of the first people to start doing YouTube weather forecasting. I did wall-to-wall coverage during Haiyan, and we're still going, and it's all because of your guys' support. So I will, you know what, I probably do a live around noon Philippine time, 11 to noon. I will probably do a live here on Sunday. Screw sleep. That's why I've been drinking my coffee. Don't need it. It's for losers. But I will. If you guys aren't sleeping, I'm not going to be sleeping, right? And if you're getting hit by this storm, I'm sure you're not going to take a nap. So I'll do my best to have another live here around that time. So just stand by for that. But I will also post other videos. Ooh. The Real just posted. I saw one of your videos doing an interview on Josh, I believe. I just talked to Josh Morgan. Check out firstcoastnews.com. It's on there, on that YouTube channel. It is from a different channel. That is my day job. And Josh was nice enough. We talked about the inner core of Melissa. Check out First Coast News on YouTube. It's there. And we talked about what it was like being inside the Cat 5 Melissa. Josh is ahead of the storm right now. So is James Reynolds. So is Jordan Hall, who's a tornado chaser from the States. There is a lot of people inside of the storm that, because we knew this was going to go nuclear a week ago. So, yeah, we knew it. So check that out, but they're all out there. So if you want on the ground real-time reports, check out Josh Morgan, iCyclone, James Reynolds. He's AKA Earth Uncut TV. He's probably going to be streaming. He does stream a lot. He just streamed from Late Day during Tino, and I guarantee he will be streaming somewhere in Aurora or Bel Air on the East Coast there where this is making landfall. So be sure to check them out. They're a different channel, but yeah, just Samuel Jordan Hall is there too. He's a cool guy. I just met him for the second time. Jordan's a cool guy. He does some really good footage. He was out in the Batanes Islands during I forgot what the last big storm in the Luzon Strait. He was there. He was stuck there for like a week and a half in the Batanes Island. Really cool guy. They're all out there chasing the storm too. So there is international storm chasers from all over. So you check out them. Jordan Hall, Earth Uncut TV, and iCyclone. I can't stress enough. After you get done watching here, go to their channels because they've been posting updates pretty continuously. Why can't I get off of this? I keep on answering because you guys got some really good questions. Yeah, hey guys, I wouldn't be upset if you post those channel links in there. Somebody do me a favor. Regasa. Yes, that's it. They want to hit the Batanes Islands. Somebody do me a favor. Share in the comments here Jordan Hall's iCyclone and Earth Uncut TV. All good friends of this channel. Go way back, and they are fantastic. Sherwin says, don't forget to charge your devices. Yes. Fill up water bottles. Charge your devices. Get your important stuff together. Passports, birth certificates, things like that you don't want damaged. Get those together. And then if you have it there somewhere, you got it, right? So if you're not hit by it, not everybody's going to get the inner core of a super typhoon, but a lot of people are going to be getting that heavy rain, tropical storm, typhoon strength winds, even towards Manila with a slight shift towards the south. Typhoon strength is possible in Manila. I'm not going to say it 100%, but I think bigger issue in Manila is going to be that rainfall after the fact, after this passes overhead. So I see a lot of you are sharing those links, so thank you so much. I appreciate that. And once again, before I sign off, if you subscribe to the channel, that really goes a long way. So please subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna switch over to this music and take a break, get some coffee, and then I'm gonna record a video. So watch for that. That's gonna consolidate this 100 hour and a half of me just running my mouth into a sleek 10-minute video for those that are just jumping on and you want something a little bit better than this. So big shout out to everybody though stopping by here, and as always, stay safe out there. All right. All right, friends. Thanks for stopping by and watching this. I am going to actually shut the stream down now and record a new update. Just basically talking about what we talked about for the last hour and a half. It's going to be more short, consolidated into it. And then I will have another stream if you want more of me just rambling, I suppose. And later on. So probably 10, 11 in the Philippines in the morning when the storm is nearing landfall. We're gonna have a stream here, just kind of informing you on the latest. So if you haven't subscribed so you can get that notification of a storm. So when I do put out the video, you get that latest update. And yeah, I'm gonna record something new right now. So if you're just watching this to get some newest information, just stand by. Here, kind of an overnight update. It's going to be posted in just a few moments. So, as always, though, thanks for stopping by, and stay safe out there, okay, friends? All right.